Yo, what the dilly, man? It's your man's Conniver here representing D12 and Detroit. Special shout out to my homie MicroMike out here repping for the Detroit Lions for the great city of Detroit. Detroit versus everyone, Detroit versus everybody. You already know what it is. Much love, MicroMike. Keep doing your thing on YouTube. Keep making videos for those Lions, man. We love them. We have faith in them. One pride. Detroit love. Detroit what?
Hey, folks, we got the One Pride podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors, and we got a hell of a show for you tonight. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fun. We got questions ready for the mailbag segment, and we got a lot of news and rumors to be breaking down regarding our Detroit Lions. And we got my boy, Mr. Mark Oram here from Oram's Forum. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, how's it going, MicroMike? How's it going, everybody in the chat, man? Let's have a good show tonight. Let's talk some NFL and Detroit Lions. Let's go.
We have a special guest here from Lions Nation Unite, Chrissy. She is the head honcho, in my opinion. She is the woman that definitely does a lot of hard work behind the scenes. How you doing, Chrissy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, outstanding. Folks, you see that link right now in the chat. That is the link to the YouTube channel for Lions Nation Unite. Right now, we got 46 in the building. I want 46 subscribers over there. I'm counting today. They got 520. I want to see 550 by the end of the show. So make sure you subscribe because, hey, there's a lot of quality content on that bad boy. Most definitely, Mark. Isn't it a sweet channel?
It's a sweet channel, man, and stay tuned to it. I love watching it, man.
No freaking doubt. But we do got some interesting news that is taking place. Mark Oram, what were some takeaways that you've seen in the Senior Bowl?
Today I was watching some offensive linemen versus some D linemen, and they had what's his name, the kid Raymond from Central Michigan, the offensive tackle who looks like he had a couple nice reps out there. I didn't really watch a whole bunch today because I was at work, but I did catch a little bit of that, and I saw most of Robert Saleh's team today. I didn't really get a good look at Dan Campbell and the squad. I did see a nice rep from Damian Pierce, who plays for Dan Campbell's squad. He's a running back from the University of Florida, and he had a really nice blocking rep that I did see today, and Deuce Staley was pretty pumped up about it. So I do like seeing that, and he's a pretty versatile running back that you never know the Lions could maybe add to the roster because we've had a lot of injuries in the past.
You know, I'm looking at this Senior Bowl. I'm seeing a lot of excited coaches. These guys are doing a phenomenal job. Deuce Staley taking control and command like an actual commander, unlike the Washington football team's new name. I really like seeing what I've seen from all the coaches here, and it's really exciting to see what Ben Johnson's doing. He's right now working as offensive coordinator, and I think, to me, it seems like it's locked up. Now, Chrissy, when you look at what the Lions need for their coaches and their offensive coordinator, do you think that Ben Johnson's doing a good enough job since he came in the position and starting to work with these younger guys?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think whenever you are promoting from within, it's great because you have that continuity and you already have the affinity with the players. So I definitely think that it's a good move.
For sure, 100%. We got Chrome in the building, 9 Drinks, Huron, Mark, Alan, Dana, Frog Crop, Vash, Frank, Zake G. Travis Doyley, what's up, Travis the GOAT, Doyley, Juan Silva, Hugh in the building, Lions Rumble, Go Lions, Vash, Sky to Limit. If you guys have not smashed that like button, you're all nuts. Make sure you smash that like button. I mean, that's what it's all about. But you want to know what some interesting news I thought was a little more important than a lot, maybe not reported much as we should be talking about. That's our boy, Jim Harbaugh. We thought this guy We thought this guy was going to be the next head coach in the Minnesota Vikings. And what does he do? Right to the Minnesota Vikings staff, and he's not going to be the head coach. Chrissy, what do you think of this development of Jim Harbaugh, who did see like his guy's going to Minnesota? Now he's not, and we don't have to deal with this guy in the NFC North.
Well, Coach Harbaugh is a complete god when you look in Ann Arbor. So, I mean, yes, there's been some polarization around him since he's been back at Michigan, but the fact that he beat Ohio and made it into the Final Four of, the college football playoffs. I mean, yeah, he's totally at home at Michigan. He's got it made there. I think that, it doesn't surprise me that he would stay there. I would think it would be a ridiculous move personally to go to the NFL, but that's just me being around Ann Arbor on a regular basis.
Oh, for sure. I'm not even a Michigan fan, but my buddy who works at Chat Sports, my guy James Yoder, he runs the Michigan report over there, and he wants to see him finish the job, and I do too. Even though I am not a Michigan fan, I want to see them win. Mark Orem, what did you take away from the Jim Harbaugh Minnesota Vikings situation, and what do you think, man?
I kind of thought he wasn't going to go anyways. Just, this has always kind of happened around Mr. Harbaugh. He's done this a lot. I think he likes the chase. He does love the chase, actually. And from what I'm hearing, he walked into those Minnesota doors asking where to sign. And they said, whoa, Jimmy, we're not giving you the job just yet. I heard it was a money situation. And I heard the interview didn't go well. This is what I was hearing in the morning from Stoney and the boys on 97.1. So they said that the meeting didn't go too well. He thought he had the job already, and they just didn't offer him the job. And I guess it went to Kevin O'Connell. I think his name's Kevin O'Connell from is it Kevin O'Connell? I don't know if I'm saying it right. From the Rams team there, the offensive coordinator. So, but like I said, Jimmy loves to chase. I want to see him finish the job here. I think, he's been here 7 years, one Big Ten title. I think his tenure here has been a little bit of a failure. I'm not gonna beat around the bush on that. He needs to be better. He needs to beat those SEC teams, and he needs to beat OSU. And needs to beat MSU on a consistent basis, and he hasn't really done that. But I'd love to see him finish the job here at Michigan.
You know what I love to see? It's my buddy Dern who showed up, man. What is going on, Dern? Hey, Dern, I can't hear you, but I got to fix that. I don't know what's going on. Your audio is... There we go. Dern, can you speak now? No. Dern, can you speak now? Apparently not. I don't know what's going on with you, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to get away from really quick. I like it, man. I like it. I like the issues going on with the Minnesota Vikings. I know they hired O'Donnell there, the offensive coordinator of the Rams. I still see the fans. They're very upset. And when they're upset, that makes me very, very happy because they're an NFC North team. Mark Orem, free agency is coming here, and Brad Holmes talked about today that he pretty much has his board written up for free agency. What do you think they're going to target, and what do you want to see them target?
I honestly think, I seen a little snippet of that today on Twitter, actually, that he was talking to Mike Payton, I believe it was. And he was talking about free agency. I think they're going to target safety. I'm still pretty big on Marcus Williams, the safety out of New Orleans Saints. I think there's a lot of familiarity with the New Orleans Saints with obviously Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, our defensive coordinator, who actually coached the DBs there last year. So, and he's our new D coordinator here. I think there's a lot of familiarity there, and we need safety help, I think, in a big way. And a guy like a Marcus Williams, who's young, I believe he's about 25 years old. He might come with a little bit of a price tag. He's a little bit of a playmaker. He can force some turnovers. They need to really bear down on that safety room in Detroit, and I think he'd be a really nice get for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, for sure. Dern, are you able to speak yet? No, you're still unable to speak, so I don't know what's going on with him. Unfortunately, that sucks. Chrissy, what position or positions, plural, would you like to see the Detroit Lions to address in free agency? You don't need a specific player, but when you look at this roster, what do you think the Lions need the most help at?
I agree with Mark in terms of safety. I definitely think that's one. I think linebacker is definitely one, and then wide receiver. We definitely need some wide receiver help. And I heard that that's what Antoine Randall is pushing for.
You are epic with a transition because that is my next question right there. And I don't know, everybody out there, if you heard what our wide receivers coach Antoine Randall L had to say, but we get in the hands already, something we need to talk about. He wants to draft 2 wide receivers and sign 1 in free agency. Let me know in the comment section, do you think that's a good strategy? Why for yes and for no? To get 3 receivers, 1 in free agency, 2 in the draft. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. What do you think about that, Chrissy? 3, I mean, that's basically a rehaul right there.
It is. I think that one of the things that really held up this team last year is that there wasn't a lot of flexibility in terms of scheme because of the wide receiver group. And so they were much more one-dimensional until they brought in Reynolds and he could go a little deeper. But I mean, for the most part, yeah, if you don't have that diversity within your receiver group and the ability to really hit your marks and go where you're supposed to go, then you're not going to be able to open up your offense as much as you could. So I don't see a huge problem with it. It'd be funny though, kind of going back to back in the day when we were drafting wide receivers every year.
Oh yeah, Jay back. Oh my God, that was bad. That was a bad time. Should we be drafted wide receivers every year, Mark? Should we do that? Just draft wide receiver round 1, 2 through 7.
Well, you know, if you're going to go that route, man, at least hit on most of the picks. You know, Matt Millen just could not do that back in the day, man. I think he hit on 1 pick, obviously, and we all know who that guy was. But you know, this is great news from Antoine Randall. We kind of knew, or we were kind of hoping that this was going to happen, that they were going to add to this wide receiver room. It tells us a lot of things that they're not even close to being complete with that room, because I think there's a good chance Josh Reynolds might not be coming back. You might not see Khalif Raymond. Cephas should be back. You know, obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown, the phenomenal rookie there. But we're going to have to add some pieces here. And I love that Antoine Randall is speaking his mind, saying that he wants some new faces in that room, because it's a must, Mike. You know it's a must. We gotta surround Goff with some weapons. We can't just have Amon-Ra St. Brown out there catching 15 balls, man. We have to spread the ball around a little bit.
Right now, folks, you know what it really is a must? We got 114 in the building. We got 45 likes. That should get to 75. But more importantly, Lions Nation Unite is an epic app. It's made by Herman Moore. All you got to do is go and download it at lionsnationunite.com. That is where you can get it. It is like a Facebook, a Twitter, kind of combined. A better MySpace back in the day. You know, MySpace fell off, but this one is not going to. So if you're a Lions fan and you would love to spread your pictures around, do some meetups, just have a good time with the Honolulu Blue and Silver fans, go to lionsnationunite.com, download the app. You can follow them on Twitter at LionsNationU. I'm following there. And also, subscribe to the channel, folks. Just like Sky the Limit says, subscribe to Lions Nation Unite. You see that hyperlink. It is the pinned comment right now for the stream. All you got to do, click it, and go ahead and subscribe and come right back. It literally takes a second. There's going to be epic content on there. You got Herman Moore, you got Lomas Brown, you got yours truly, and a lot of other content creators talking all things Detroit Lions. It's a great way to just have a hell of a time. When you say that, Chrissy, about Lions Nation, just epic, or what?
I would 100% say that. I have really enjoyed getting to know all of the amazing content creators, the super fans. I mean, it's really become like this pseudo family that we've developed. And so really recognizing all of these amazing people who follow the team, and they're really the ones that we need to go to, the people like you, to go to for our Lions news. So that all comes to us in one place with Lions Nation Unite, and you sprinkle in some former Lions legends that come in and drop their opinions here and there. We get you guys coming to talk amongst yourselves, and you each bring your own level of intelligence and insight, and it's been a really fun time so far, and it's only going to get better.
And you know what's really funny is the last stream they did on there, Lomas and Herman Moore was going at it. Hilarious. One was a running offense, and the other one was saying that's dull. So it was hilarious. She works with him.
For sure.
Yes, this is Herman's. I'm in Herman's office right now. Lomas works here too, and it's all the time. It's really entertaining.
It's entertaining. That's why you got to subscribe. And right now I'm monitoring literally the channel, so I can see the subscribe count. It just went up a little bit, so just keep on doing that while we get this show a crack-a-lack. And there's a Super Bowl coming up, and there's a former quarterback in this Super Bowl named Matthew Stafford.
Is he in the Super Bowl?
Wow, I never knew. I didn't even know that.
He's playing?
Apparently, there's this guy,
crazy.
number 9, Mr. Matthew
Crazy.
Stafford, playing this guy. Let me know in the comment section you want him to win. Do you want Stafford to win? Why for yes and for no? I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let's do an informal poll. Chrissy, Matthew Stafford, do you want this guy to hold up the trophy and glorified L.A.?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I'm not really vehement one way or the other. I'm not adopting the Rams as my team. I'll put it that way. I think that I'm just I'm watching the game. We'll see what happens. I mean, if he wins a Super Bowl, good for him. There's definitely a part of me that would like it to be me. But, good for him if he's able to win a Super Bowl. But I'm definitely not, like I said, adopting the Rams as my team, as though because he's moved there, I get to say that I'm now a Rams fan.
Let's see what the chat thinks right now. Informal poll, go Lions, yes. Series Buzz, no. Yes. By Bill Collier, no. Patty Grimes, no. For John Bradshaw, Puffy, Y. Colonel Pie, Josh Kittle, N. Bryce, N. Yeah, why not? So I see a little more Ys, but there is some N's in there. We got Travis Doyley, the GOAT, saying Y. Wow, so we split 50-50. Go ahead.
One of our super fans actually sent me a screen grab that there was a hybrid logo created with like a lion and a ram. Yeah.
I seen that. It was the Detroit Rams, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was not too pleased.
Now we have the adopted father of Matthew Stafford, Mark Oram from Orum's Forum. Obviously you want him to win.
I do.
You look at him as your child, okay?
He is. He's my baby. He's my baby. He's my adopted son.
Do you rock him to bed? Quick question.
Sometimes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah, sometimes. If he needs it. When he gets yelled at.
By coach. By Coach
By
Patricia.
a coach or his wife. Gets Coach
Then
Patricia.
You get pretzels thrown at you if that occurs.
Pretzels, with cheese and stuff, yeah.
Do you want to see him win the Super Bowl?
You know what I do? I want to see him win the Super Bowl. I'm not a Rams fan by any stretch. I know I always have to kind of explain this here, but I'm a big Stafford fan. I think he deserves it. He was here for 12 years. He broke his back, like I said, literally, suffered through some adversity for his first couple of years as a Detroit Lion. Got a lot of flack from his fan base, from the media, since day one. And I've argued that he was a good enough quarterback for the Detroit Lions to at least win a playoff or two here games. And I'm just happy to see him move on and possibly get a shot at the Lombardi. This is a little bit shot at the Lions organization. They fail. I think, he doesn't go blameless. Of course, you have to put some blame on his shoulders because, he is the quarterback. He does make the most money. He touches the ball constantly on that team. But I just feel that this is deserving for him. And he was good enough here. And he's showing it in LA, and he's playing phenomenal in the playoffs. He's doing what he always kind of did here, but just didn't get any recognition, So it's just, I'd like to see him win. Go Matt Stafford.
So you want to see him win, and I don't. But that's okay, and we got a mediator, so it's a middle panel here. Folks, if you got questions, let us know in the comment section. How do you do that? Hashtag Lions. My eye can see it. Remember, I'm 36 years old. I do got a bad left eye, so that's why I got to have that hashtag in there. So if you want a question answered, go ahead, throw that in the comment section. Myself or the panel currently will go ahead and answer that. And if it's the hardest question there possibly is, specific details about a prospect, I'll send that one to Chrissy for sure. I'll make sure that she has the perfect answer for you right there. If I miss your question, it's not because I'm hating. It's because I'm old, folks. So that's just what happened. Just copy and paste the question. And then we will get to it, and we will have fun getting to what you guys think. Oh, more subscribers. I see the subscribers going up. Keep subscribing over there to the Lions Nation Unite channel. Let's get I don't want him to win because the Lions will get the blame game. Do you think that will occur? If he does win the Super Bowl, that the the Lions will get the blame game on the franchise, Chrissy?
Yes.
And how would that reflect?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, there's a lot of players who have left and gone on to win Super Bowls. I mean, we were talking about Lomas. He's one of them. I mean, he played here and left and got a Super Bowl ring. So it's happened so often. You blame the organization because why couldn't he win here?
And I guess I could see that. And I'm happy Lomas got that ring for sure. Hashtag Lions Malik Willis. Malik Willis showed out today in practice. If you guys didn't see the Senior Bowl, he was definitely showcasing his abilities. He did miss a read on a play, wide open wide receiver for a touchdown. But other than that, this guy was throwing some nice deep balls, hitting the bucket from about 25 yards away. Really good. What do you think about Malik Willis there, Mark Orem?
I like him, man. He went to a small school. He's a good-sized kid, so 6'2", 220. Great mobility, great escapability. He is a one-read guy, though. He'll Tennessee just if he doesn't look at his one read and doesn't progress it well enough, he will tuck the ball in and run. He needs to learn how to read 1, 2, and 3. His progressions to go through them. Cannon for an arm, but he's an extremely raw talent. But he's a kid that's climbing up the draft boards right now. He's having some great practices. I see that there's some chatter that the Detroit Lions are really into him, and people think we're going to take him at 2, but I don't think it's going to be that far. But I do like that he's climbing up the draft boards.
Chrissy, would you take a quarterback in this draft? Yes, I would. I would take a quarterback. I think that it's been long overdue. It would have been nice to have somebody there and being developed while Matthew was still here. But for now, I think we definitely have to have some homegrown talent.
Yeah, I concur with that sentiment. I have no problem taking a quarterback. Quarterback, exactly. If the player is there that can help out the team, why wouldn't you do it? And Malik Willis, I think, is a beast. I think this guy's dual threat. I've been talking about this guy for a year. Who is the number one must re-sign guy? Look, man, I think that Tracy Walker's got to get re-signed, but look, Jack Fox, the punter, Mark. Jack Fox, the punter, You got to re-sign this guy, right?
Yeah, man, you got to re-sign Jack the Leg, man. He's got one of the best legs, in the NFL, man. He's got he can kick it inside the 20. He can coffin kick it for you right in the corners. He's one of the best out there. He didn't make a Pro Bowl this year because I think Dan was going for it a lot this year. So I don't think he really got a shot to really showcase his leg this year. It almost seemed like, and I think he got maybe a little bit snuffed, but he's got a great leg. He's accurate. You can boom it as long as you want. You can short it. So he's one of the best punters in the NFL today. So he's going to be a definite re-sign for sure.
Huge shout out to Travis Doyley, the GOAT himself. $10 super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. And I'm glad that tier not working right now. What do you guys think of Jamar Johnson in the Senior Bowl? Are you talking about the defensive end?
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson. That's what I was saying. Yeah, Jermaine Johnson been showing out in the Senior Bowl. His draft stock exploded. If the Lions decided to trade out of the number 2 pick, he would be an option for sure if they're looking to get a premium defensive end talent, not named Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson. But right now he's blowing it up, Mark. He's killing it.
Yeah, he's a guy that is really blowing it up at the Senior Bowl right now. He would add to a pass rush that we're kind of lacking. So, he played at Florida State. He knows what he's doing. He's a good kid. He can get to the quarterback, lives in the backfield, causes some chaos. Let's take a look at him. You just never know what happens in April, right?
Never know what happens. Hashtag Lions. Could you see the Lions trading the number 2 pick, and what do you think you could get in return? Chrissy, do you think the Detroit Lions should explore options? You've seen this positions before. You're part of the Lions organization. Should the Lions just go ahead and take the best player available, or do you consider making a trade?
They're always going to explore options. That's what they'll tell you. I mean, that's the go-to line that they will give is they're always going to explore options. If somebody's going to give you an amazing offer, why wouldn't you take it, right? But they're going to have their idea of what they're going to do. They probably have their players that they have circled that they're really going after. And if there's 2 players that they think are amazing that they would love to get, 1 or 2, and it doesn't matter which one goes first, then, you stay with number 2. But the philosophy that I always heard when I would try to be a student, because I always like to learn as much as possible, they rank these players based on you can start right away. You're going to take a little bit of work. You're more of a reserve, but you'll develop into a starter. And, they look at it for who's going to be a Pro Bowler, who's probably going to be, just a starter. So they have these different rankings that they do with their prospects that they look at. And so I'm sure that that's going to be a big factor, is where along the first round or where along the draft order can they get what they're looking for. So if they were to trade and they wouldn't get an ideal player, then they're probably not going to take that.
Folks, again, we got Chrissy here from Lions Nation Unite. This is a new channel. We want to get them to 550 subscribers. This is Lomas Brown, Herman Moore. A lot of new content's going to be placed on there. A lot of Detroit Lions. We can have a great time. They have multiple shows, videos, everything going on. Make sure you guys subscribe. That literally is the pinned comment. Subscribe. Right now, they're at 524. I want to see 550 before the show is over. So let's get those subscribes up. Also, if you've not hit that like button, you're nuts. You're literally nuts, man. And we don't want to be nuts. We want to be a little bit normal around here. So we would really appreciate if you can get that squared away. I got a question here for you, Mark Orem. Here's a question. Which one of the second-tier wide receivers do you think the Lions should target?
I think there's this is a really loaded wide receiver draft this year. I like Jalen Tolbert out of South Alabama. He could probably possibly be a third or maybe even a fourth wide receiver taken off, round wide receiver taken off the board. He's got some good size to him. He's got some length, some speed, good hands, contested catches. He can get in the end zone for you. He's having a couple good practices in Mobile right now, and he's a guy that Antoine Randall just like we talked about earlier. We're looking at wide receivers. I guarantee you they're looking at Jalen Tolbert. He'd be a nice addition to the D.
Hashtag Lions, do you want Malik Willis? I am willing to get him. I don't think we're going to get him, obviously, with the second pick in the draft. If they trade back, possibly. But if he's sitting there at 32 or 31, whatever pick we're at, you have to consider it. This guy is a gamer. Folks, if you look at the Senior Bowl, he's showing out with individuals of his peers, not of the Liberty team, where we're talking about none of them are going to be in the NFL. The offensive line was cheeks. This guy is getting it done both on the ground and in the air. He's got a fantastic arm. You got to watch it. It's on ESPN2. That's where the practices have been. So watch the Senior Bowl practices as well as watch the Senior Bowl itself so you can get a good look. Sam Howell also was fairly impressive today. He has a strong arm. Again, I want to see the accuracy. There's a little bit off when they're doing the throwing drills through the net. He's a little bit off, but you want to see the accuracy get there. But I honestly think Malik Willis is the first quarterback taken off the boards. If he's there, I'm going to go for it, but I just don't know if that would be the case. Let's see. We've got a question from the greatest name of all time. Superintendent Chalmers, I would never draft a quarterback. You guys know how good Goff was from weeks 12 through 18. He was phenomenal, top 5. Why draft a position if the Lions don't need right now in the early pick? I'm going to suggest this. We didn't need Justin Herbert when we were in that draft. We had Tua, we had Matthew Stafford, we had Tua available, and you had Justin Herbert. I pounded the table that the Lions should take Justin Herbert. Everyone said no, we have Matthew Stafford. That is the reason why. If there is a talent there, do not just miss up on a talent just because, I have this position. Select a talent. If you could redraft, everybody would get Aaron Donald, okay? Maybe even an Odell Beckham Jr. at the time, T.J. Watt. A lot of times and a lot of issues that we've missed out on players just because we have talent on that side. So I believe in the best player available approach. What do you think about that, Chrissy? Best player available approach. You've been in there, so you've seen the in and outs. What is your personal philosophy of draft?
Yeah, I think that you do best player available. I know that was always the philosophy that I would hear about frequently. I think when you look at quarterback, how long did Aaron Rodgers sit behind Brett Favre? And, was that a mistake to draft him? So, I mean, you look at the different positions, you get whatever you think is the best player available. But again, I think it really depends on how close are the players, how is your relationship with the player, because you go through the interview process. The coaching staff right now is getting to learn what these players are like, how coachable are they, how do they jive with these players. So there's a lot more that goes into it than what you see on the field. But I think it's a matter of, if it's a really close call, go with the player you're looking for. But yeah, I mean, don't reach and get a player that's not worthy of that pick because you think you've got, an abundance of talent at a certain position.
Yeah, I never want to reach. You don't want to just take a quarterback, just take a quarterback. We've seen that work out real well with many franchises, and it just doesn't work out. But if one falls, like Aaron Rodgers fell, or whoever, if you have a chance to upgrade that position, I see no problem with it. Mark, what is your stance on the quarterback position? You like Malik Willis. Would you do it if he fell to 31 or 32?
I would definitely give it a thought process. You know what I mean? I would go over with my scouts and with my scouting team, and we would definitely talk this out. But I'm not 100% sold on Goff, so there's probably a better chance that I would. I don't think Malik is going to fall that far now. It's just we still got to see him play in the Senior Bowl game and the Combine. We still got a lot of. We still have to see a lot of eye test for Malik Willis, but we definitely, I think it's a good idea to possibly add another quarterback here because, I don't know if they're sold on Goff. He was terrible for 10 weeks here. And then, he turned it around with we had some adversity. We had some stuff that happened with Anthony Lynn. He got demoted. Dan Campbell calling plays, Ben Johnson getting promoted. So he turned it around in the last 5-6 weeks of football, but now he needs to do it again. And there's nothing wrong with that in competition, and we never did that with Stafford here. We never really pushed him to the limits. It was always, he never had anybody looking over. He was never looking over his shoulder per se. So I think with Jared Goff, I think it's kind of a must that we do add a quarterback sooner than later.
Super Chat $4.99 from Roger Gawardo, my guy. Let's go pass rusher in the draft, just like offensive line complements and make the running back better. Defensive end and get a great linebacker. I'm with you, man. I love defense too. Look, if we're sitting at 2, the odds are Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be a Detroit Lion. Help out the line. And if God loves us and graced us and a Nakobe Dean is sitting there at 31 or 32, or a Devin Lloyd, you got to take it at that point. I have no freaking problem with that. As long as it's not a Jared Davis type of player, hey, we good to go, man. I think that would be outstanding if that did occur. And if you see my mock draft, I love my linebackers and defensive ends. 177 in the building. Let's get to 100 likes, 20 away. And again, the link that is attached to the stream, that is Lions Nation Unite. Subscribe. Go on there and click that subscribe button. Let's get to 550 likes for Chrissy, Herman Moore, Lomas Brown, and the crew. We got another super chat here from my guy, the G himself, Mr. Travis the Goat Doily. What is your thoughts on Calvin Austin in the third at the Senior Bowl? Mark, I haven't really heard much about this guy.
Last couple, yesterday or today, but I know he was doing really well. He's running really nice routes, catching the ball, making guys look silly out there. He's a speedy, more like a Tyreek Hill type wide receiver.
Carson Strong is I think he's probably the most pro-ready quarterback in this year's draft. The issue, again, is his knee. We're talking 3 knee surgeries. That's concerning to me. He may be doing great now, but what happens 4 or 5 years down the road, that's a concern to me. But he is probably the best pocket passer in this year's draft, Mark.
Yeah, he's a guy that is probably pro-ready right away, but he's got a lot of injuries. I actually saw a little bit of him today, too. They were doing some one-on-ones. He missed a couple throws, though, but he made a couple nice, real back shoulder throws to the wide receiver. He's got a really strong arm, big kid. Almost 6'4", 230 pounds, but bad knees, man. Like 3 surgeries I think he's already had on his knees. So you got to be really careful about guys like that. He has absolutely zero mobility, to tell you the truth, too. So he's another statue back there. And, you're going to have to really, really build a good O-line for him. And you're going to have to put him in the perfect offense, I think. So I like him, but his health concern it really worries me.
Speaking of offensive line, Chrissy, do you think that the Lions did a smart move by solidifying this offensive line, adding Penei Sewell last year, Jonah Jackson making the Pro Bowl, bringing back Taylor Decker? Do you think that's going to be extremely beneficial for the Lions going down the road? And a lot of people always ask about trading Taylor Decker. Would you trade him?
No, I think 100%. When you have a solid offensive line, it just helps with your offensive foundation. I think it was ironic that we won the games we won after DeAndre Swift went out. But I mean, you see the productive running game, you see, the ability to protect the passer. And I think that, you saw the difference that Taylor Decker made once he came back from injury. So I think that when you stabilize the offensive line, it really gives you a great foundation. It's one of those things that feels better when you look back, because when you're in the process of drafting offensive linemen, it's not really the most exciting thing that you're doing. But once you can look back and say, okay, we've built this foundation, it's like, okay, now you're in the good days of this, because you've already built and developed everybody along that line. So yeah, keep that infrastructure together for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what the Lions brass is going to do. Just because he got injured, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. And he's a veteran on a very young group. Besides Vati Vaitai, we're talking young. Yeah. Mark Orem, who is a sleeper quarterback the Lions could look at?
A sleeper quarterback in day 3 that Alan Dana's asking, maybe Bailey Zappi out of Western Kentucky. He could be a late. He might be going in the 5th round, maybe later. Earlier, if he plays really well at the Senior Bowl, he was shattering records at Western Kentucky this year. I think he was like the only guy to throw for 6,000 yards or something like that, and ever, I think, at the collegiate level. If it happened before, I don't remember. But Bailey Zappi was slinging the rock all over the field this year in college. He's a guy that went to a smaller school, so people will knock him on that. But he's got decent size to him. He's 6'1", 220, 225. He's built like a tank, actually. He's very people say that he's really, really small, but if you look at the kid, he's actually a pretty big kid, and not the strongest arm, but extremely accurate. And they call him Baby Drees. Drew Brees. So you never know. It's a kind of a good comparison to have if you're a quarterback, to tell you the truth. So, but Bailey Zappi could be a guy that the Lions could target later on in the draft. You never know.
Chrissy, do you think the Lions can stand out this upcoming year? Do you think, look, we had a rough first year, three wins. Do you think they're going to make a jump to potentially that next level?
I mean, I think it's all going to depend on the cohesiveness of the team. It's going to depend on your coordinator. So how is the new offensive coordinator, whether that's Ben Johnson, going to do in the role? But the big thing is, how much did we see players and mistakes that weren't, that were more mental mistakes, that were things that could be preventable. We don't know how many assignment mistakes there were. So, I mean, I think there's a lot that can be done that has zero to do with adding new players, and can be about making sure that you're all communicating, that you're, fundamentally sound, that you've got quality scheme. I mean, we watched, Aaron Glenn transform a defense that kept losing players, and all of a sudden we keep getting better because you can scheme in a way that makes you better. So, yeah, I mean, I think that if you're focusing on your fundamentals and your assignment sound and you know how to strategize, for sure. I mean, there's no reason why they can't be.
Folks, you see New Era Sports right there. That is TA. He is one of the best prospects, a guy that look at talent coming into the NFL draft. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. This guy, he knows it all. That's where I get a lot of my information. Matter of fact, that's where a lot of us do. Subscribe to his channel, and my friend Detroit Lions Syndicate right there. Subscribe to his channel. They're almost at 1,000. New Era, he's trying to get to 21,000. So go ahead and subscribe to their channels. Fantastic, fantastic content. And again, like I'm going to keep saying, we're trying to get to Lions Nation Unite to 550 subs. I threw that link in the chat. Go ahead and subscribe. Do you think oh, that's an old question. Why would I go back to an old question? Let me see. Let me see here. That's not a question. That's the one that I just did. Go ahead and check that link out there. Are we running the RPO through. Not sure.
The run pass offense through what? That's what he's mean. That's what he means, but I don't know what he means by the actual question.
Yeah, that's
Are we
what
running
I was
the
trying to figure out.
RPO, the run pass option? That's what he's basically saying, but I don't know how he's wording it.
Let's see here. Have we forgotten Romeo Akwar? No, we definitely have not forgotten about Romeo Akwar.
No.
And he will be jumping back upon this defensive line and wreaking havoc. What do you think that he can bring to the Lions next year, Chrissy?
I mean, I'm just excited to see so many of these players that are coming back that we lost so early. But yeah, to have a playmaker back like that on the defensive line is huge. And it is. It's exciting, though, to think about, like I've said that I really enjoy seeing a team that improves. And we saw the team improve despite the fact that they kept losing players. And so to plug in players that we lost to injury and see what the team can do with some playmakers, and then also we're going to go through this draft, it's exciting to think about what we're going to get when we move into next season.
What about Jimmy G to Tampa Bay, or what other team? You could look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, they could use a quarterback right there. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, definitely. Just look at all the teams that are close to a playoff spot that are just missing a quarterback. I heard an interesting rumor today. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it was Aaron Rodgers to the Tennessee Titans. Apparently, he purchased some home in Tennessee. He would like to go there. What would you think about Aaron Rodgers going to Tennessee and Ryan Tannehill coming to the Lions, Mark, or to the Packers?
I think that'd be a really great deal for the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if it'd be a good deal for the Packers because I don't think Devontae Adams is staying in Green Bay. The weapons, are kind of limited over there in Green Bay, and rumor has it that Adams wants to travel with Aaron Rodgers, but who knows what happens there. But if Rodgers goes to the Tennessee Titans, they can, you can almost lock up that division again for them. That makes their offense even stronger with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, and you got the king in the backfield, Derrick Henry. That would be absolutely amazing. And then, with a defense that's kind of building still, that needs to be a little bit better, but they have gotten better. The Tennessee Titans wouldn't have really much of a competition-wise, in that division. So that'd be really nice for the Tennessee Titans. I just don't really – there'd be probably some picks obviously involved in that because it still has to be a trade done. But obviously they'd be shipping a Ryan Tannehill to the Green Bay Packers. And I'm not a big Tannehill fan. I think Derrick Henry kind of made him. So I kind of welcome it as a Lions fan, to tell you the truth.
Do we, another super chat by Travis the Goat Doily, do we keep or get rid of Trey Flowers? Your thoughts, Lions Nation. This is going to you, Chrissy. Trey Flowers, what do we do with this guy?
I have to decide and determine the fate of Trey Flowers.
Yes, you are the cutter. You are the keeper.
I don't like to, get rid of people, but no, I mean, I would say there's room for a change. I would think that. That's my flat opinion. What do you think, Mike? I'm going to throw it back to you. I'm used to being the interviewer.
Okay, I 100% agree with you. The cap ramifications of him here does not justify his ability on the field. You got Romeo Akwar coming back. You got Austin Bryant coming back. We're probably going to take a defensive end if we stay at two at the second pick. We got the other Julian Akwar, the other Akwar on this team. Why have him on the roster? Potentially you could trade him maybe for a draft pick, but we need help in other areas, and he doesn't justify the contract. Mark, what do you think about that?
I totally think that too, Mike. His out for contract-wise is this year. Like you said, we got Julian coming back, Austin Bryant, two young guys that I think could be big pieces for this defense. And then you got Romeo. You can add in April at the draft. You can get an Aiden Hutchinson or a Thibodeau. So I think I think it's time to cut ties with a Trey Flowers, man. His contract just never really lived up to what he was supposed to do. So I think it's bye-bye Flowers. I'm sorry.
Woo, folks. Lions Nation Unite is at 530 subscribers. We are 20 away, 2-0. We can make it happen. We are
Awesome.
all Lions fans. Let's support each other. That's what this content's all about. Look, big media, they can talk about their LA Rams. They can talk about their Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Kansas City Chiefs. But where's our Detroit Lions? It's here. It is with us. So we have to push each other's content out there. So make sure you go subscribe. It is the pinned comment right now in the comment section. And if you're watching after the fact, when this video is over, I'll make sure I pin it to this live stream. We got 215 in the building. So make sure you guys all subscribe to that bad boy.
Awesome.
What do you think about the Lions probably signing Mike Williams from the Los Angeles Chargers? I actually think that is a very possible situation right there. Mike Williams, bigger wide receiver, not the biggest in the world, but we do have connections to the Chargers. We need a wide receiver. I had him on my free agent watch list. And like we've seen what Randall L. said today, they want to get a wide receiver in free agency. I would look at him. I would look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe they do Michael Gallup if he gets better. What do you think about Michael Williams, Mark Orem from the Chargers to come to the Leos?
I like Mike Williams. He's a really good wide receiver, big body, like you said. Not only is he a big body guy, he can actually stretch the field for you too. You'd like that, especially from a bigger wide receiver. You can get up and get those contested catches. Red zone monster. Has had a couple of really nice years in LA. Has really turned it on. I think when he first started out in LA, he was banged up a little bit. Now, for the last couple of years, he's been a real big force for Herbert and company over there. So he'd be a real nice get, I think, for the Detroit Lions. And I bet you Antoine Randall is a big fan.
Oh, I'm sure he is. He's definitely a big fan. We got a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Ricardo Guzman. He says, I hear everybody was impressed with Malik Willis. I don't think he'll be at the number 2 pick, but yes, I watched him today at practice. He was very impressive. Again, he missed one read, a wide open wide receiver for a touchdown, but other than that, he was decisive. He was getting out of the pocket. He was throwing the ball very strong, finger-breaking throws. I like what I saw, and so did the scouts and as well as the analysts on TV. So it was fun to watch. Continue to watch it again. It's on ESPN2. Very fun. And the bowl game will be on Saturday. That could be future players we look at, folks. Senior Bowl. Where'd Deebo Samuel blow up at, Mark? The what? Senior Bowl. So it's
Senior Bowl. Justin Herbert, too.
Justin Herbert. Definitely. Is Davante Adams asking $30 million a year? Yes, he's actually asking $30 million a year. And I think Chrissy is actually going to pay him that to join the Detroit Lions. Do you got that type of money for him to come to Detroit?
Yep.
Mark Orem, how much is that in Canadian money?
$30 million a year in Canadian? Wow, man. We're talking. That could probably be about, I'd say, 54 million maybe in Canadian. I'm kind of just spitballing that, so I don't really know. I'm not really good at math.
Can you go ahead and bribe some super troopers over there? And
100% I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's definitely what we're doing. My man, Cy Gray. What's up, Cy?
Hey.
I haven't seen you in a minute. What about trading Taylor Decker, Romeo, and our 32nd pick to Jacksonville and have the first and second picks? Well, I think that's about – I have a more chance of right now of – I don't know, winning the lottery right while I'm speaking right now than that occurring. Cy, I know that's a laughter and you're having a good time there, but that is no chance that will happen. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think Cy is sipping the Henny right there, having a little bit of fun.
I mean, I don't know that you would want that to happen. Would you really want that to happen? I mean,
no, I think he's joking.
I know he's joking. I'm being
I know.
Sarcastic font.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Cy, are you subscribed to Lions Nation Unite? Make sure you are. Right now, what are they at? 5:30, unless it has not updated. Sometimes it does do that. 216 in the building, and we are still climbing, so get those questions in there. We got a little time left. I want to see it. We got Adams it won't be as good as Rodgers in the chemistry. Do you think that's the case? Do you think, Chrissy, if Davante Adams was not with Aaron Rodgers, do you think his production would go down, and if a team overpaid for him, that he would not be as productive as he was with Green Bay?
I don't know. I mean, that really comes down to what their relationship is like. Sometimes you get a specific relationship between players, like a quarterback and a receiver, and they have a certain rhythm. And so you can't duplicate that. That's the piece that we don't really get to see, if we're not behind the scenes. What is a relationship like behind closed doors? Some guys might not work well together. Other guys might work well together. So, I think that it could absolutely be true if they're tight like that.
Now, we talked a little bit about this in the beginning of the show, Super Shredder, about Harbaugh staying in Ann Arbor. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. Any, kind of middle finger towards the Minnesota Vikings, I absolutely appreciate it. Look, when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, when it comes to Chicago Bears, I'm not a big fan. And I got some friends that are good Vikings fans, and they were not pleased about it. And I think the panel kind of all agrees on that a little bit. And I think for the state of Michigan, finish the job. Finish the job. Win more. Defeat state if you need be. Go ahead and keep winning. So we will see it. I got a question for you, Chrissy. With your time with the Detroit Lions, who was your favorite personality, player or personnel that we may know? Maybe a head coach, maybe a other coordinator or something. Who was a guy that was really interesting that people may not know?
The first person that comes to mind, oddly enough, is Louis Delmas. He actually reminds me a lot of Jamal Williams, or Jamal Williams reminds me a lot of Lewis. So he was always saying, doing something, walking around, yelling at people, making jokes while guys were doing interviews. He was a lot of fun and a really good guy. So I really enjoyed having him. I was friends with Calvin while he was there. He was a really good guy. I'm trying to think of who else was really a good personality, but we had a lot of really good guys. It was fun when we had the Nate Burleson, Calvin, Reggie Bush, Brandon Pettigrew, Joy Bell. When we had that team, it was a lot of fun. Cliff Averill, it was a good time.
Yeah, that was a stacked roster. I don't know about you, but I remember I was really sick, but the Detroit Lions were hosting the Chargers for when we finally made it to the playoffs, and the crowd was just screaming playoffs.
Christmas Eve?
Yeah, Christmas Eve. That was, I think that was one of my greatest moments of a Lions fan, just seeing all these fans go nuts. And when Cliff Averill did that pick six from Phillip Rivers, oh man, I don't know how you guys were reacting, but we were going nuts. Mark, what was your favorite? Oh, go ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead, explain it.
No, I was going to say it's very interesting for me because, when you were in a press box, you couldn't react, even though we were open air with Ford Field, but you weren't supposed to react. So I almost have this intensity of not reacting. It's almost like kind of a bigger thing for me to just sit there and just be internally excited. But no, I mean, there was just so much nervousness when we would go into games, and, I traveled with the team, and it was just a lot of fun. And so, yeah, I remember how loud that stadium was, and it was just, and we went to New Orleans. So it was really cool to be a part of a playoff. It would have been nice to have a playoff victory, but it was nice to have some.
I still have that picking up the flag that will haunt for the rest of my entire life. What were your thoughts, Mark, when you see them pick that flag up?
Oh, I was in utter disbelief, Mike. I didn't even know what to do when they picked that flag up, but it was one of those moments where you're like, of course. You're like, of course, man, they picked it up. I don't understand how you picked that flag up. I'm still confused to this day. There was lots of time left in that game for us to win the game, but that was a very deciding point in that game. We were driving. It looked like, we were actually not driving prior to all that. Then we finally got a nice little sustained drive, and then that happened, and then we just fell apart, and then lost the game. A lot of mixed emotions for that game, man. A lot of mixed emotions for that game. But I was at a game at Ford Field when Kelvin went for over 300 yards against Dallas. I was at that game at Ford Field, and that was one of the most electric times
was that the
I've
Spike
ever
It?
been involved. That was the Spike It
Oh,
game.
That was
come on, where Stafford was screaming. Yeah, oh, yeah. Spike and Spike,
Get
and he
over
jumped
here.
in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, get over there. It was just, Calvin. That's where Des Bryant said Calvin wasn't as good as him and all that stuff. And Calvin ended up going for 3+. It was just an amazing game. That place was actually shaking. It was actually it was that electric. It was a good time to be a Lions fan, especially beating the Cowboys too.
Final question for both of you. Chrissy, who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be the Rams. I do.
You say that with so much pain. Yeah.
Mark,
I don't have a stake in either team. So, but
Yeah.
no, I think it's the Rams. I really do.
Who you got, Mark?
I think it's going to be a great game. Don't sleep on Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Shiesty's out there, man. He's super cool. I love him. I love Joe Burrow, but I think it's time for Matt Stafford to hoist the Lombardi. I think the Rams are going to win it. I think it's going to be a really good game, though.
Okay, man. Hey, this show was a epic show. I appreciate everybody's showing out. We got to 219 today, so I appreciate it. If you've not smacked that like button, make sure you smack it. And make sure you subscribe to Lions Nation Unite. We're trying to get them to 550 subscribers, whether you're watching live or it's after the fact. Again, I will post the link in the comment section, and I will pin it when this stream is over. Mark, what do you got to say to the folks as we close this bad boy out?
I want to say thank you to Mike, Chrissy. Thanks a lot for joining us. It was a pleasure meeting you. Everybody in the chat, thanks for participating. We had fun. Come check out some of my videos on YouTube, Orem's Forum. I do videos on the Detroit Lions. I'll talk about some baseball back when summer starts kicking around. We talk about the Tigers. And I do a live podcast every Tuesday called Orem's Den. And we talk about the NFL and we talk about the Detroit Lions. Come join me. Come check me out.
Chrissy, I really appreciate you coming on here from Lions Nation Unite. Hey, you're a dedicated Lions fan, been with the organization. What do you got to tell the folks as we close this bad boy about your Twitter handle, about the Lions Nation Unite app? What do you got to say to the folks?
Well, we got started in September with Lions Nation Unite, and we are building our follower base, our fan base, and we have some of the very best content creators. It is like the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter for Lions fans. We've heard it said that it's the place you can go to talk about Lions football without getting razzed from anybody else in the league. It's just your Lions fans there, so you can come hang out, have some fun with us. We're going to be doing some interviews around football. We're going to be doing some other fun things that maybe have nothing to do with football, but just come join our group, and I promise it'll be a good time.
Appreciate everybody. You guys have a fantastic weekend. God bless. Senior Bowl Saturday. With that said, folks,